welcome to the web.
Here we have more time for more money saving from the main topic of the week.
How to cut your gas and electricity bills.
And extra chat with our celebrity guest.
This week, the Strictly Judge Craig Revel Horwood.
And then there's Martin's favourite bit.
Yes, I get questions from our lovely, kind, beautiful and sweet audience.
Creep. Which, of course, he has to answer. I'm from Wigan. Sight unseen. First, though, over to our studio volunteers.
Don't you blame Wigan for that. There are people out there from Wigan who could read the whole thing without going through it.
They don't use the H's. We don't do that. Who step-by-step followed Martin's lead to find out how
I'm going over there to talk to the volunteers.
Whatever.
Hello.
Hi.
Anyway, sorry, Ruth. I love you, really. Now, what did you reckon to that? Easy?
Easy peasy. Very easy.
And it's interesting for me, you've never switched, but you have the internet at home.
I do, yes.
But you'd never thought of going to switch on the internet, because I know you told me you were scared of scary men who tell you aggressively to do things.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is pretty simple.
It is, yes.
Both of you, what was interesting for me, opted for a cap tariff. You've decided to go with surety in this time of rising prices. You were wavering slightly.
Mm-hmm. Well, my mother was born in Yorkshire, and I like the idea of big savings.
Yes, quite right. Glad for all those Yorkshire people out there. Yeah, it is. It's a very difficult one. I think probably, you know, and it's very difficult because I don't want to advise you on this because there isn't a right answer. We can say 15 to 35% predicted. If it's a 15% rise and it comes later in the year, you might not have quite got the very cheapest. If it's 35%, it would have been very good. But on the balance, I think you've definitely got the safest option and probably the cheapest. Now, the interesting thing is, how long do you think it will actually take? We didn't press a button on here, but how long do you think it'll actually take once you press the button to get the new gas and electricity company?
I think I heard a month or so.
What do you think?
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Who's done it in here? Didn't happen in a month, did it? No, it's going to take 2 to 3 months. And what's interesting, that means is if you cap now, you'll still have the price you're paying now until probably by the time that your cap comes in, then the variable price would have gone up anyway, because I suspect they're going to go midsummer and autumn. So actually, the current timing, it really is the perfect time to cap your tariff. Are you actually going to do this, by the way?
Yes, I'm definitely.
We can let you, by the way, once we finish the programme, get back on the computer and go and press the button while you're here. Thank you two so much for doing it. I really enjoyed it. It's very nice and Paulette.
Thank you very much.
And hope you enjoy the piggies at home too.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
all volunteers, everybody. Ruth.
Now time for you to find out what Strictly Judge Craig Revel Horwood thinks of your advice.
Right, I better go over to him then. Now, it's lovely to have you here. There were big savings, but actually, I suppose half of that's cheating because you had £50,000 in the savings account. So, of course, the bigger the number, more than we can save you.
Yeah, sure.
I think you suffer from the loyalty problem. I think you mentioned HSBC a lot. You've got all your money in there.
Yeah, that's because I like my personal banking. You know, I hated it at Barclays when they took personal banking out of the equation. And that's why I changed from Barclays over to HSBC. And, of course, I have a very, very good relationship with my bank manager now. So I can actually, you know, just phone him personally and say, darling, I need 100,000 today. You know, and it's in there. It's great. You know, that's the sort of relationship I like to have personally. I know that's different from most other people, and I really don't... I feel as though I don't have time in my life to be searching for different products and doing all that. So if they can do the legwork for me, I think it's great.
But you do understand that it's interesting. I was with you until your very last sentence. I was with you on the time-money equation, which, of course, I understand you're a busy man and you're a successful man, so, of course, that has... But then you said something. You said to me, they will do the legwork for you.
Yeah.
Now, from my perspective, if you go to a bank, in your case HSBC, but any other bank out there, whose products will HSBC sell you?
Well, their own, of course.
And so they're not doing any legwork at all. They're just selling you products. So ultimately, that's why you're earning less than 4% on your savings account when you could be earning 6.5%.
Sure.
Because you're not engaging in the competitive market.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting to see whether... So I've told you here, I mean, quite plainly, we could do it exactly on a calculator, but it's going to be somewhere £800 to £1,000 on your 50 grand a year just by switching and opening another account.
Yeah, I mean, that
But
is
will you do
extraordinary.
it?
I would investigate it, yes. I can't say absolutely blindly
that's fair
now
enough.
I would do it. But, yes, if it's going to save me up to £2,000, why not? I'd be mad not to.
The credit card spending, £5,000 a year, a month, rather.
Yeah,
That's a
month.
huge amount on the cards. Why?
Well, that's generally... I mean, this month it was 15, but next
1,500 or
month.
15,000?
No, 15,000. But that's only because I'm buying little things for the house and stuff like that.
Little things?
No, but I do...
I would hope they're huge things.
I do pay it off, though. That's the point. You know, I use it... you know, just as a convenience, you know, rather than having to carry cash or write, you know, the arduous task of writing a cheque or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm I was just working out down here.
I'm having my garden done at the moment, so I'm a few water features done.
Just as a point of interest, I talked about an American Express card. If you were to have got that American Express Platinum card, it pays 5% cash back in the first 3 months and a tiered rate up to 1.5% after that. So if you had applied and got it this month and put your 15,000 and done it so that the first 3 months were months you were going to spend on your 15 grand, that would have been 750 quid cash back there and then, just by having that card instead of what you have right now.
Yeah,
never mind the 800 quid up there. It would have been a lot. I think you need a cashback credit card.
I need you in my life, darling. That's what I need.
I'll send you an email. It's close enough. Any questions for me while you're here?
No, the only thing I really thought of is what's the best thing to put your cash in, if you like? If you have, say, like, just 20 grand lying around, what would be the best thing to throw it into?
You see, people in here are laughing, but actually it's quite interesting. You're a man whose finances turned around quite quickly, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and suddenly...
From when I was a chorus boy dancing in the West End, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you were
completely.
earning diddly squat then, I presume.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now suddenly you've got money, but actually you focus your time on earning the money, not dealing with it. And it's quite common. So the 20 grand sitting around is a legit question. My answer to you would be, first of all, you open up a cash ISA, which is a tax-free savings account, put 3,600 in there a year, and the rest you put it in the best possible savings account, assuming you don't want to invest it, which is then taking a risk. But you don't have the best possible savings account.
No, quite.
And I think you need to open one up, or preferably two up, because you're only protected up to £35,000 under the statutory protection scheme, but that's a story for another day. Okay. I'd open one or two of those up and I'd dunk your money in there, make sure it's not sitting in your current account, it's switched across to those savings accounts as easily as possible. That number up there could be a lot bigger, I have to tell you. I will actually send you an email on the back, because I want to make sure that at least you'll think about it, but you'll think about it the right way on doing it. Very nice to meet you. You are a gent. Thank you very much.
Nice
Thank you. Thank you. Time for the audience here to ask Martin whatever they want. Anyway, where's Carol? Now, what's that really intimate, personal question you've got to ask Martin about that little problem he's got?
I understand there's been some tax changes this week. Can you explain what they are, please?
Yeah. I can, very interesting. I mean, you've all heard, it's been all over the news, big political issue. The 10p rate of income tax was got rid of, and the government, when it first did it, it was announced well over a year ago. And I remember saying in the budget, actually, that's going to cost people. But, oh, no, it won't cost people because of tax credits. Well, it did. So a lot of people have been paying £120 to £200 more. These are people on the lowest incomes. Well, not quite. And actually, I should say, I've heard that on the news. These are the poorest in society. They're not the poorest in society because you have to have at least £6,000 a year coming in before it really hits you. So they're the next level up, but it's still people on quite low incomes. Now, what they've basically said now is the personal allowance, that's the amount we can all earn before we're taxed, is going up by £600. So we're all going to have about 120 quid more in our pockets, which is quite good, but some people still won't be better off. This money isn't going to start to flow through until September, I believe. You were testing me with this one, but I think I can do it. It only happened yesterday, and luckily I was preparing for this show, but luckily I did a bit of reading. And so we're going to have the first 60 quid will come through in September's pay packets, and then the remainder of the money will flow through for the rest of the tax year. However, if you're a higher rate taxpayer, so you earn over about £41,000, your thresholds have been changed, so you won't gain from this and you'll still earn exactly the same amount as you do right now.
Thanks. Where's Jill?
Oh, that was convenient.
That's handy, wasn't it? Anyone would think we planned that. What would you want to ask him?
I've always taken your advice on interest-free credit cards.
Yes.
The deal I've got at the moment has just come to an end, but I'm now retired, so I'm not employed anymore. Is this going to be a problem getting a new credit card?
More important as to whether you're retired or not is whether you earn or not. So has your income dropped massively?
Yes.
Then it is going to get a lot more difficult to get a credit card. When you apply for a credit card, you're credit scored on 3 different variables. Now, people always focus on the credit reference agency files, which are your Equifax, your Experian or your Call Credit, and that's the financial data that those companies hold about you. But actually, more important than that are 2 other factors. One, what you say in your application form, which includes your salary, and 2, any previous dealings that you've had with that bank or building society. Your problem here is your salary's dropped. I'm not by any means saying lie, by the way. That's fraud. Don't do it. I suddenly realised you could take that out of context, what I was saying. You know, and so, therefore, they are going to credit score you more harshly. It is going to get more difficult.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Where's Jean? Here.
This is
just come
cheating.
forward a
I like to
bit,
see you running and scampering from side to side.
I placed them all. No, I didn't. OK, what do you want to ask him, darling?
Mine's about annual travel insurance. I'm looking for one that doesn't have a big excess on it.
Why?
Well, I travel backwards and forwards to Spain quite a lot to my own house, and recently I had to cancel, and it's actually costing me more to try and apply for it with a doctor's certificate, etc., than it is what I'm actually going to get back.
The answer on this is quite simple.
No.
Well, no, there are policies out there. The smaller your excess, the bigger your price. So you have this equation to play with now. How much more are you going to have to pay to bring the excess down to nothing? And it is going to add quite a big whack. Well, it's not down to nothing, but down to a low amount. It's going to add quite a big whack to the policy. So you really have to do the balance for yourself of whether you're likely to claim on that. Now, I have to say, I cannot think off the top of my head. I hate saying that. Cannot think off the top of my head of a zero excess travel insurance policy because people normally ask me the cheapest, and those are the ones that I remember. You can... Confused.com has a travel insurance comparison service where you can set in your specific terms. So what I'd advise you to do is use that, and there are a couple of other comparison services for your specific circumstance if you're wanting a low excess, and see what the cheapest you can get with it on. There are some, but you're going to pay more for it, and what you're going to have to look at is how much more am I going to pay compared to the likelihood of claiming. Simple as that, really. I like the cheapest questions, not the no excess questions. I didn't get it wrong, did I?
No, but you couldn't answer it.
No, I think I'll give myself a C+ for that one. I don't like that at all. Next question, don't come again.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you, lovely to meet you.
Where's Neil? Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Hey!
What do you want to ask?
Is there any way of not having to pay the admin fee when renewing a mortgage?
What do you mean by admin fee? The fee for leaving your old lender or the fee for going to a new lender?
We renewed the mortgage and it was with the same company,
right.
And they charged us more for the admin fee than was a month's mortgage.
The answer is quite simple. Mortgages are a competitive market, although not that competitive at the market because of the credit crunch. And when you apply for a mortgage, you have to take all the factors you can into account, which is the interest rate and the fee that you will be charged to move.
Right.
That is part of their standard fee policy. Yeah. So, no. The simple answer is no, there is no way around that. It's a legal fee. It's what you get for getting a new deal. I presume you didn't go to the standard variable rate. You went on to a new deal. Someone like Nationwide, I presume, or Halifax, if they're doing that. Yeah. So, I mean, you're moving, that's their policy. You have to pay an admin fee for going across. The only way to do it would have been to call them up and try and have a bit of a haggle and see if you could have it waived. The problem is right now, for the first time since I've been doing this, we're in a mortgage situation where people are fighting to get mortgages rather than having them flung at us. It's not as competitive as it used to be, and people are charging the fees that they really need to have a go at.
OK, thank you.
Thank you very much. OK.
As always, Martin, a mine of money information, apart from on that question about excess
it wasn't
travel
that
insurance.
bad. Don't pick on me.
Let's give him a clap anyway.
I'll learn that next time. Anyway, it's been my pleasure. Thank you all very much for coming. Wonderful audience this week, I have to say. I mean that genuinely. Very warm and giving, and it's been great fun to do it. Next week, another Q&A session. Hopefully, I'll get them all A+.
And on It Pays to Watch on 5 next week, Martin exposes all when he reveals the magic behind the wallet workout.
The idea is that you can join in at home and work out how much more money you could save just by rifling through your purse or wallet.
Looking forward to that already.
It's not just a bit of fun, though. It is a powerful money-saving tool. Just look at the £1,800, £2,000, £5,000 that we've had on the wallet workout board. You can't look at it because it's been taken away right now. It's normally over there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, even so, find out how it works next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. when, as always,
it pays to watch.